Me too. It's the first word I looked at. Of all the words up there, I only saw the word source directly. Me. 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 E. So that. Oh, see. Now that updated book should replace the one on that page. The Squeamish movie. For all that shows constantly while you have to sit through watching it while visibly seeing your own toes. But the idea that that game looks like that now. Ah, scary furry. The competitor is still doing what it has to do with transferring files even when it turns off like that. Of course it will. It's just a screen going off. If it's sleeping, it will probably stop. It's kind of lucky how mini LED looks just like a OLED without the burn in. All it is like uh, the standard IPS screens, except for there being local dimming zones. It's basically IPS when you take away the entire backlighting, but only make it split into a bunch of different areas on the screen, so that multiple areas can go completely off to be perfectly black. And of course, it's all bright too, which is great. If it's not for the ray tracing, because you know generally how Minecraft plays in that competitor when it uses the Optimus, if that's at all what it's called, or whatever. It just basically makes the integrated GPU used instead. Of course, it did perform really good, but the ray tracing is what was kind of suffering, and of course that was induced Of course, the main things that I really want to fulfill my curiosity of with that competitor is if it were to make a video or a stream, if the stream has as expected, if it doesn't have perfect sound quality, mainly due to the idea that its speakers aren't just not really acting like an external device. But then with that competitor, the way it does all with the THX spatial audio thing, it's different from that competitor. When I first used it, it had to, it had the app in the competitor, the Razer-ish app, that was all things the THX thing. And then apparently it had a free trial that I was never aware of, and then when that trial ran out, and the competitor was muted, and I had to discover why. Then I discovered the app. That was, of course, all about the THX thing. And then, of course, I made it get that app, and then it was able to work again. And then from there on out, it basically acted like it's not an external device. It was just the competitor's built-in outputting of sound. But with the speaker ways of that stuff, instead of there being a dedicated sound output option that was of the THX thing, it was just the competitor's normal speakers setup, which mentioned the Realtek or something like that. But then with that competitor, it became better than it. At the same time, for Minecraft, it's kind of worse. It's muted now. Instead of how it was with the Razer-ish app about the THX thing, instead it is all in the Synapse app, where there's a section of sound, and then it can fiddle with that, with EQ settings and all that. But it's in the Razer Synapse app. And then well, with that competitor, of course, the speaker about, well, not the speaker, but the sound output option is not mentioning Realtek or something like that. Although maybe it does mention it, but in parenthesis it mentions the THX spatial audio. So of course that acts like some external speaker, since making videos with it, specifically with the OBS Studio, that has perfect sound quality, as if by using a speaker instead of the competitor's own speakers. Then while that's great and all, it just kind of stinks how the game bar and also the NVIDIA-ish apps and ways of making videos are muted. And then the only way to make videos that have sound is by using OBS Studio, which is kind of gross. And then because with that competitor over there, it makes, well, not the perfect sound quality for videos, though if it does, it doesn't even matter to me. And then also with it, then be good is to kind of explore most of its features, like with its app and all that. The MSI Center. Those are very good. He might as well take all those. It's all diamonds. Oh, and of course, at 4K, you guys know what that looks like. And you guys know what HDR and such looks like with the fully brightened screen. Yeah, you just wait until Etten isn't very busy with it to see it. My Thumper's content is to get a good in-depth demo of it. It's like eating a sample of a food before you buy it. Like it was trying honey samples before they bought them. Like that for that competitor. Making the tent to go down really didn't work, and it's still such a desert in here. The only way to drive the heat out will just be fans and all that. And make them the blend in there flow into here, making the door open. Which would just be that. Pretty lucky all the kid who likes all things fans. And there's also like your fans. Of the dark. It was so good. Rad. In the middle of darkness, it looks more dark. That other MSI competitor that I discovered, it said the Robo to actually have a brighter or like slightly brighter screen. Yeah. Blue slid also looks like it's one of them competitors. Okay, the star exposed and like it looks like it's kind of perfect size for this to just kind of sit on top of it at the bottom of the room. It couldn't have been very good sitting on the bed. Blue lid. We need to look in a browser. Look up fluted copper. And then get to enter and run away really fast. We have to look at only the keyboard and type in, hit enter and run away. We'll look at the screen from out there. This is better. Just having it a little higher. Multiple warming codes and snuggling dreamy. Perhaps it's time to go snag the black gamepad. Oh, I could just use this one. Whoever scat word will do. Scatward has his own controller over there. Do it's working for us. Good to know.